I stopped chasing for 30 days. My life changed. You think stopping yourself from chasing someone will make you lose them. That is the lie that keeps people trapped for months, sometimes years, because the truth feels terrifying. What if the moment you stop texting first, explaining yourself, waiting, forgiving, fixing, proving your value, nothing happens? What if they do not fight for you? What if the silence becomes your answer? That is exactly why this hurts so much. For 30 days, I stopped running after someone who had become the center of my emotions. No dramatic goodbye, no revenge, no game, just silence. And in the beginning, it did not feel powerful. It felt like withdrawal. My hands wanted to reach for the phone. My mind kept inventing excuses. Maybe they are busy. Maybe I should clarify one last thing. Maybe love requires patience. But listen carefully. There is a dangerous moment when loyalty turns into self-abandonment, and most people never notice when they cross that line. The first shock was not missing them. The first shock was realizing how much of my life had started revolving around their reactions. My mood depended on replies. My peace depended on attention. My confidence depended on being chosen. That is not love. That is emotional captivity wearing the mask of devotion. And the moment you stop chasing, something uncomfortable begins to surface. You start seeing how many times you ignored your intuition just to avoid losing someone. How many nights you negotiated with your own dignity because being alone felt scarier than being unseen. The hardest part is not letting go of them. The hardest part is meeting the version of yourself you abandoned while trying to keep them close. And what happened next changed everything. The silence hit harder than expected, not because they disappeared, but because I could no longer hide from myself. When you stop chasing someone, you lose your favorite distraction. Suddenly, there is no message to analyze, no cold behavior to excuse, no emotional chaos keeping your mind occupied. It is just you and the uncomfortable truth. I realized I was not only afraid of losing a person, I was afraid of facing the emptiness I had been covering with emotional pursuit. That changes everything. Because many people think attachment is proof of deep love. It is not always love. Sometimes it is fear dressed as devotion. Fear of rejection. Fear of not being enough. Fear that if you stop trying, nobody will choose you. But silence exposes what noise protects. And during those 30 days, a painful question kept growing inside me. If someone only stays connected when I overgive, overexplain, and overextend myself, what exactly am I preserving? That question hurt, but it also opened a door. Because the moment you stop fighting to be seen, you begin noticing who was comfortable watching you disappear. And that realization leads to a deeper truth most people are not ready to hear. There is something nobody talks about. Missing someone does not automatically mean they belong in your life. That realization shook me more than the breakup, more than the silence, more than the loneliness. Because during those 30 days, I missed them. I missed the routine, the expectation, the emotional habit. But then I asked myself a question that changed everything. Do I miss this person? Or do I miss the version of reality I built around them? That question forces honesty. Sometimes you are not grieving a relationship. You are grieving potential. The future you imagined. The apology that never came. The effort you kept hoping would appear. You are attached to a story that exists more in your mind than in your actual experience. And that is why letting go feels brutal. You are not only releasing a person, you are releasing a fantasy that kept your hope alive. But something unexpected started happening when I stopped feeding that fantasy. My thoughts became clearer. My emotions became less desperate. I began separating love from emotional dependency. And once you see that difference, you cannot unsee it. Because the next stage is where your energy begins to come back to you. Something strange happens when you stop chasing. The energy you spent monitoring someone else slowly returns to you. At first, you do not notice it. Then one day, you sleep a little better. You laugh without forcing it. You go hours without checking your phone. And that scares you, because healing feels unfamiliar when chaos became your normal. For so long, my attention had been invested in being understood, desired, prioritized. I had forgotten what it felt like to invest that same energy into my own life. So I started doing something radical. I stopped asking, "How do I make them come back?" and started asking, "What have I neglected inside myself while waiting to be chosen?" That question changed my direction. My peace stopped depending on someone's mood. My value stopped depending on someone's consistency. I was no longer building my identity around another person's uncertainty. And here's the part nobody expects. The goal was never becoming cold. The goal was becoming whole. Because when your energy returns to you, your standards change, your vision sharpens, and your heart begins wanting something deeper than attention. And the final realization is the most powerful one of all. The biggest change was not that they came back. The biggest change was that I stopped needing them to come back in order to feel okay. That is the moment everything shifts, because for a long time, I thought closure would come from their message, their apology, their explanation, their regret. But closure did not arrive through them. It arrived through the version of me that finally stopped begging life to bring back someone who had already shown me how little they could give. That does not mean the love was fake. It means love alone was not enough to carry what only one person was willing to fight for. After 30 days, I was not the same. I was calmer, stronger, more honest with myself. I no longer wanted a connection that required me to abandon my own peace just to keep it alive. And that is when I understood the real miracle. Sometimes God does not restore the relationship. Sometimes He restores the woman who lost herself inside it. So if you are in that silence right now, do not rush back to what broke your spirit. Let the silence teach you who you are, without chasing, without begging, without shrinking, because the life that changes first is not theirs, it is yours.